So, hi there everybody. Time for me to comment on your comments. It looks like I've got a trainload of comments today to deal with. Okay, so I'm going to start with for learn. It says, thank you for hearing my comments. It makes my day when the notification wrote, it made my day, good, that's better tense use, when the notification wrote, congratulations, your comment received a heart. Well, here goes another one. And Sheed, hi Sheed, I've perfectly understood your explanations, not back to front. I guess you know how some of you, I guess you know some of us inside out through our comments. Well, I get to know a lot of you quite well. I get to know where you come from, or particularly your opinions on things, which is usually very interesting. And Navanitha, hi Navanitha, she couldn't find out what she was looking for in her bag. She couldn't find. Normally you find out information, whereas you find something that's lost. She couldn't find what she was looking for in her bag, so she upside down her bag. I would say she turned her bag upside down, although I think you could probably use this as a verb, but that's very non-standard. Yeah, she upside downed her bag and dropped everything outside of the bag. Okay, now Anitha, that's great, you've understood it. And Shah Noir, phenomenal explanation, thank you. And for learn, when you said members of the EU should work together and not fight between each other, between or among, because it's more than two, or are there only two members? Thank you in advance. I think you've got me here, and I think I probably used the wrong word, although maybe I've got the idea of two members fighting between each other while the others stand behind and watch, but fighting among each other. You're absolutely right for learn, and my apologies. Also, in reduce poverty or reduce the poverty would be correct, with definite or zero article. So, my aim is to reduce poverty. No article possible, because I'm talking about poverty in general. It is my aim to reduce poverty in the UK, or the poverty in the UK. In that case, I can use the if we know which specific poverty I'm talking about. Yeah, the poverty in this region is very serious. Yeah, I could also say poverty in this region is very serious. Yeah, but poverty in general, when you don't know the specifics, know the for learn. And Count Beauty with Patricia's P. I love it. Sleep time should be sacrosanct no matter what you're up to. Do not neglect a good night's sleep. I quite agree with you, Count. And for learn. So in tandem can be like in unison, in cahoots, in conjunction without the S. Definitely. Would it be working towards the same objective or working for the same objective? I think both are valid. I think it is both, and towards makes it more direct. Correct, absolutely. For is more general, towards is more specific. P, great to see you. And there's this song, Inside Out. Inside out, boy, you turn me upside down and round and round. I can't remember the name of the singer. Well, I actually looked it up. It's Odyssey, but I didn't know the name either. Unless it's upside down, boy, you turned me inside out and round and round. I put my foot into it again as usual. Well, foot in mouth is very me. No, you definitely haven't. Navanitha. Once in school, teacher asked me... Once in school, teacher asked him to say out loud or recite out loud that poem in front of everyone. So, asked him to say out loud. Out loud is an adverb. It's an adverbial phrase. He did it back to front, even though he had prepared it well. Yeah, he had it well prepared. Because of stage fright. We normally say stage fright and fear. Because of stage fright, fear, and being afraid. Good. Thank you, Navanitha. Thank you, Ronan. Great to have you. And thank you, VG. Who put this upside down on the wall? Probably me. It wouldn't be the first time. I'll have to type that pullover incident again. It's a true story. Ooh, I'm interested about the pullover incident that Mummy YouTube seems to have swallowed. Okay, Count, great to see you, my friend. I remember a hilarious scene in one of Johnny English's in one of Johnny English's movie. Johnny put his trousers back to front in his colleague's apartment. I guess he felt abashed in front of that girl at that moment. However, he tried to continue acting naturally with a deadpan face. I like that word, deadpan. I have found myself in such a situation, but it was not so ridiculous. I just put a t-shirt inside out at a gym. Yeah, I've been known to put my shirts and jerseys on inside out, back to front. Yeah. So, VG says, could you post your videos at 8 p.m. Spanish time, 7 p.m. UK time as it was before? I'd like to leave it for a while because the 7 p.m. time slot for me seems to be getting better results. It's just earlier in India because this 8 p.m. Spanish time slot is like 11:30 p.m. in India, whereas the 7 p.m. time slot is like 10:30 in India, which is more reasonable because people in India and the Far East go to bed much earlier than Latin people do. VG, I had to take off my shirt and put it on again because it was inside out. Good English. The wind was so strong that it blew my brolly inside out many times. Yeah, normally when that happens you have to throw it away. So, no 2. Is there fight in Mayhem? When I listened to it, though, maybe there was fight. So, maybe not. Yeah, Mayhem talks about chaos. There can be fighting in Mayhem, but not necessarily. Yeah, there could be people fighting, but not always. And VG, it's rather annoying when I'm in a hurry and end up wearing my t-shirt. No, when I end up putting my t-shirt on, wearing my t-shirt on, inside out. She wore her oven gloves inside out and didn't notice. Good English. She's lived here for quite a long time, so she knows this city inside out. I like the present perfect. Good grammar. P. They reminisced about the fleeting moments of happiness they had shared in the past and expressed an ardent desire to relive those halcyon moments in the present. Halcyon days. Happy, wonderful days. Oh, another pretty one. Thank you, P. And VG, I can clearly see in the photo that his shirt is back to front, and the same goes for his tie. I've never put a tie on back to front, but that's quite a funny one. I'm going to try that one day. I got to go to the loo because I got my t-shirt on back to front. And everything was done back to front, so the boss isn't happy at all. Good. I've lived in that neighbourhood for nearly 6 years, and I've moved to a place that is literally next to it, so I know it back to front. Good. And I went to the loo to change my clothes that were backwards. Good English. Josue really hates it when he wears his clothes backwards. Well, I hate it when I do that and don't notice. So, Saeed Asif Iman, I actually watched the video. It's a very interesting video about the Kaaba, the black rock, and the origins of it, the shapes, the dimensions, why people walk around it in an anti-clockwise way. Yeah, a detailed explanation to understand the house of Allah through the ayat of Allah, the most sacrosanct place for sacrosanct place of the Muslim world, the Kaaba in Mecca city. Must watch and verify how Allah made it and how Allah keeps it in a place of guidance at all times. You see? You see how respectful the Muslims are compared to these Christians who give me 60 lines, which is nothing to do with what the video was about. Here, I've got a picture of the Kaaba, and he's saying if you want to find out more about it, here's a link to it. His English was pretty good as well, by the way, Syed. Thank you. And Shraddha says shalom. So, shalom. Yeah, this nice, peace be with you. And Victor Gabriel, the fan switch was installed upside down and we had to call in a professional to mend it. Perfect. VG, since his lover died last month, his life has been upside down because he's had to do most things by himself. Good English, VG. P, lovely to see you. When she gaslights you, I love this word, she will call into question your sanity, not to mention your memory or your good intentions, and then try and use them against you and make you second guess what you've done and decrease your confidence. Ooh, I hate these people. Okay, thank you, P. VG, are you aware that you've hung that mirror upside down? Well, at least I haven't hung it back to front. Thank you, VG. His death has thrown his life upside down. Good, I like that throw. And he understood everything back to front. I had to explain everything again so he could understand it correctly. Good English. Thank you, Manji. You're quite correct. I guess that to avoid the repetition of everything, I could rephrase it. He understood everything back to front, and I had to explain it all again so he could understand it correctly. That's much better, VG. Avoiding useless repetition of words is a good thing. I turned my backpack upside down and shook it a few times so I could get rid of the undesired contents in it. Yes, good. The thieves turned the house upside down as they searched for my valuables. Good, well done, VG. He straddled the chair astride. Ooh, I like that use of astride. With his back turned to front. Yeah, his back turned to, I would probably say, the front. Yeah, astride is when you've got your legs akimbo, one either side. And he straddled it astride, the chair astride. I like that. That's very good. Astride is an adverb as well. Very, very nice. VG, that terrible news turned her world upside down and she's been quite upset ever since. Her inside-out shirt was dirty. What do you think of back-to-front cars? I think they work perfectly well. VWs, the old VW is a very good vehicle. And mannequin. Mecca is a sacrosanct place for Muslims. Getting good sleep is sacrosanct. Spending time with your loved ones is sacrosanct. His sacrosanctity really impressed the people. The people are impressed by his sacrosanctity. Very good, well done, mannequin. Grandeur is the best word to define you. Thank you very much, Sergio. That's a very nice thing to say. Hi there, Quarenta. Great to see you as well. And Manji, yay! I thought I knew my colleague inside out, and hence confided in him with my out-of-the-box idea about the project. To my utter dismay, he got it all back to front, and our project turned upside down. Good English, Manji. Love it. Well done. Good vocabulary. And good governance. I would say highly appreciated. Yeah? Highly appreciating. Okay, yeah. I appreciate this highly. I'm very appreciative of this. Thank you. Good. And Manji. Heh. I can't restrain myself from mentioning one of my most favourite films by Pixar, Inside Out. In this context, this film immensely succoured me in my distress. And a semicolon, I love semicolons. Made me realise that we require all kinds of emotions to shape our lives, not merely the positive ones. In order to feel happy, we have to embrace sadness at least once. And most of us a lot more than once, Manji. Similarly, we have to traverse the paths of anger and disgust to achieve joy and peace. Yeah, you can't know what black is without knowing white, and vice versa. Very good English. Well done, Manji. Thank you. I quite liked Inside Out as well. True, Manjira. Life is not all roses. We have to ride out some tough times. Oh, I like this phrase, ride out, 40. And Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed. The first step that must be taken when you are on a diet is to dwindle on the things that consist holistic, incessant, huge amount of fat. So the first step that must be taken when you're on a diet is to, you see, normally a thing dwindles, the sunlight dwindled, is to let your consumption of the fattiest things in your diet dwindle. You need that dwindle at the end. Yeah? Okay, thank you, Mohammed. To dwindle. So, something dwindles. Normally, a person doesn't dwindle something, just the thing dwindles. Intransitive. Yeah? No direct object for to dwindle. And my pleasure, VG. Yo, VG, great to see you. And your channel will turn exactly 12 in exactly 3 weeks. Wow, thank you. And Sibonello, Messi is such an accomplished forward player. He scored a hat-trick in 5 consecutive games. Okay, good English. And 40, no, this is your name. I wish I could pronounce your name. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Anytime. And dustman or dustbin man? Do you use both? Yes. My old man's a dustman. He wears a dustman's cap. He wears gorblimey trousers. And he lives in a council flat. Okay, sorry. Is your full name Henry Alexander? No. No, VG. Henry is my posh character. Yeah? Henry is an incredibly posh guy. And that's why. Henry Charles Fortescue. And that's why P is calling me Henry. Yeah? Okay, also there's this phrase, a hooray Henry. Okay, so somebody who gets drunk, and somebody who's quite posh but gets drunk and breaks things and causes vandalism. So, the difference between thought and thinking. Thought and thinking. You mean as in, for example, radical thinking, radical thought. I think in this case thinking talks about a particular way of thinking, a particular way of using your mind, used particularly within a group of people. So, for example, leftist thinking or left-wing thinking believes that people should own the means of production. Left-wing thought. I think a thought is probably more personal. I think a thought is the thing that goes round in your head, whereas thinking is more like a technique or using certain tenets to think in a certain way. So, I hope that's what you meant. And Vinny, okay, aluminium or aluminum? To me it's aluminium. And 40 Love, great to see you. Subsume, include, classify in a more general category. Red, yellow and green are subsumed in the category of colours. Become overshadowed, incorporated, become part of something. A pregnant mother may subsume her lifestyle in order to do what is best for the fetus. COVID has subsumed our daily lives. Formality 8, very good. And okay, droll, this is definitely a Patreon video. Something that is droll is funny, witty, humourless. Funny, but maybe a bit wacky, unusual. It's a very posh word. Oh, how droll. He has a very droll sense of humour. His jokes are very droll. It was a very droll afternoon. Very good. Yeah, but sounds very posh. David E. Schnell. Only 74% of people got this answer right is telling me that you have a large audience who are interested in learning English. Yes, David, the people who watch my channel are very serious about their English. I think they're completely different to the normal YouTuber. Yeah, this is somebody who's here who seriously wants to improve their English, including native speakers. Thank you, David. And bravo, says Douglas. Thanks, Douglas. Great to see you. And for Learn, how can I use wax indignantly in a sentence? Is it negative? So to wax is to talk about at length in this case. So he waxed indignantly about the state of our environment. Yeah, when there's something he doesn't like, he waxes angrily, he waxes indignantly about that subject. I'm sorry to go on and on waxing indignantly about this, but it really gets my goat. Yeah, okay, so that's why I tend to wax indignantly. Yeah, to go on and on being in an angry, indignant way. My pleasure. And P, hi. I have known nerds, boys and girls, who are quite the opposite and who are also everyone's cup of tea, including the girls. In that case, you might add the word spicy or sassy. Yeah. Spicy cup of chai. Chai, very tasty. Chai, Hindi word for tea. Well, chai's a lot more than tea. Yeah, the British just drink tea, but chai, it's got all sorts of lovely spices in it. Garam chai garam, hot tea. Garam as in garam masala, mixture of spices. Little or no chili powder, and very yummy also. Yes, I remember the chai sellers in India. Kabi naram kabi garam. Translation of the title of a film, Blow Hot, Blow Cold. Naram means soft, literal meaning sometimes soft, sometimes hot. Kabi, sometimes. Tanot. Tanto, parfois, sometimes. Enough. Enough. Okay, and positive clouds. That's a very nice one. I'm very definitely a fan of chai, P. I'm not a big fan of British tea, but chai's different. It's got all sorts of other flavours to it. Tea's rather boring. Chai's much more interesting. Thank you, Douglas. And Fluke, great to see you. It was hard for the old Roo to be abstemious in his golden years, considering what a rakehell he was when in his prime. Okay, I like these two words, an old Roo and a rake shell. These are two very good, unusual words. I love it, thank you. Yes, if you've had a very checkered past, it's difficult to be abstemious at times. Well, nowadays I'm totally abstemious. This one is very pretty, P. I love it. I love the colour scheme. And Walid, thank you so much from Morocco. My pleasure, Walid. Great to see you. Mohammed Al-Bunaga. A can of worms, Pandora's box, stirring up a hornet's nest or perhaps a rat's nest to let the genie out of its bottle. That's very good, Mohammed. I like those. And Andre Correa, probably. Amazing video, thank you. Well, I surmise your name is French, but it could be Henry as well. And good governance. So, highly appreciated with an ED, good governance. So, let me write this. Highly appreciated. That looks better. Like that. Maybe you will learn it. So beautifully explained. Thank you, Amish. Very kind of you. And Being Hindu, that's a good name. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. To prod. And this is Alan. My pleasure, Alan. Thank you. And Giliola. Thank you for commenting, Giliola. I love your comments. I love the way you think. One of the most sacred events in the world is the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. The right to celebrate joyfully, a joyful occasion, is sacrosanct for Brazilians who organise an extraordinary show which attracts millions of tourists every year. The Rio Carnival. I was wondering, VG, you ever been to the carnival at Rio? I'm sure you'd have a wonderful time. Okay, I've never been. I've never even been to Brazil. I would like to do that someday, though. Oof, there's so many countries I'd like to visit. Let's see, where would I like to go? I'd like to go to Cambodia, to Vietnam, to Indonesia, to Myanmar, to Madagascar, to Egypt, to Turkey, to Colombia, to Brazil, to Ecuador, to Mexico. I'd like to go to Hawaii. Wow, there are just so many places I'd like to visit. Sorry, I'm going off at a tangent. Hello, Quarenta. Hello, AA. Great to see you. Great to have you both here. And the dissent between the two people rambled on for years. Good, Quarenta. Despite their dissent, he grudgingly agreed to help her. Good. Bonjour. Good morning, Patricia. Patricia. Alex, there you have it. Bob's your uncle. No, my uncle was Leslie. By the way, do you like croissant, pain au chocolat, madeleine, financier rouleau au fromage, endive au jambon? I'm not very fond of endive. I will eat it, but it's okay. And chorizo. The chorizo looks like Goa sausages. The chorizo that I've had in France and in Spain is not really very good. They've got some fantastic ones here. I like the big spicy ones that don't have too much fat in it. And the jambon, I'm also a big fan of jambon. A good statistic for you, did you know that the most expensive leg of ham sold in Spain last year was 4,100 euros for a 7-kilo leg of ham? But that's because they feed it with acorns and they treat it specially and all sorts of things. So, thank you, P. And static. There is dissent between the public and expert astronomers on whether Pluto is a planet. It depends on how you define planet. They changed the definition of planet and therefore the status of Pluto. So, static. There is dissent over the incident at the Oscars last night. Personally, I think Will Smith is in the wrong. He should have thought about how this action would dishonour the Academy and everyone else who won. Who doesn't know about Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani activist and the youngest Nobel laureate? I salute her courage to dissent from the taboo regarding the education of girls imposed by the Talibans. Very good. I love what you've done there, Manji. Is the preposition correct here, or should it be against? To dissent from. You could dissent from or to dissent against as well. Oh dear, I didn't know that I like Will Smith so much as an actor. Sounds perfect to me. Yeah, and I only saw the clips today after the fact. I don't really like the Oscars, too political. And Manji says, thanks, dear. So that's a very, very good one. I love it for both of you. Okay, thank you. And Aditi. Hi, Aditi. In any democratic country, the frequent dissent of the members in the ruling party for Pell and power could atrophy the democratic principles laid down in the Constitution and stymie the overall development of that country. That's very, very good English, Aditi. I've got nothing to say that's wrong about it. Good work. And ZV. Freedom English is the correct way. Why do you all add an extra syllable? Save your breath for words that are more important. Everyone's free to pronounce things in their own way as long as everybody understands them. And Abin. They dissent strongly against the doctrine. To dissent, very definitely. Aditi. Hi, Aditi. During the COVID-19 lockdowns in most of the households across the globe, kids turned the house almost upside down, and all the mothers were tired of giving them inside-out knowledge of being neat and tidy. All their efforts went in vain. No, it went in vain. Yes, went in vain. Yes, it works. As kids ultimately responded in a back to front way. Yeah, okay, in a back to front way. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you for using these, Aditi. And wahi or wahul. I love it. My BF is a BF. My boyfriend or my best friend is a big fool. Okay, so the answer to the yesterday's was run of the mill. And Mandikan. Hi, Mandikan. Thank you. Anytime. It's great to see you. And Patricia. During the reign of Henry VIII, that's who's in the picture, political and religious dissent was chastised by torture and execution. Cromwell himself lost his head in the bargain. Yes, it was a pretty horrible era. Dissent was not something that was taken lightly. I think, the sacking of the monasteries, they did terrible things. Okay, Aditi, a cavalier attitude, absolutely right, a devil-may-care attitude. And P, men often demur at the logic of women, and vice versa. Very good, I like that, it's very true. We don't see each other's logic, and that's the point. Machiavellian, is it good or is it bad? It is bad. So an interesting point. This video, Machiavellian, has had about 1,000 views from the Philippines in the last 48 hours because Bongbong Marcos, who is the son of the ex-dictator Ferdinand Marcos, said that he was Machiavellian. And to be Machiavellian, it means you have bad intentions. Yeah, you're looking to conquer everybody. P. She demurred at his invitation to dinner because he did not seem to be a man of honour. Very good indeed. Wow. Bad boys are also fun, P. Cavalier attitude. Cavalier. Very definitely. Roundheads and cavaliers. So, work out why I'm laughing. Go and have a look at another dictionary definition of cavalier. Okay, they dismissed our proposals in a cavalier manner and eventually demurred at the implementation of the project. Good English. Ooh, I like this tulip and the apple. Yeah, very positive. Thank you, P. So, I can't pronounce your name, unfortunately. This is in Hebrew. I'm currently learning for the acceptance test for the universities in Israel, for which ones I need to know about 5,000 words in English. Your videos absolutely saved my test. Thank you so much. Best of luck. Yes, there are lots of words particularly focused on this type of thing. And Walk BC, great job, thanks. Support from Canada. Brilliant Walk, thank you. And Sibonello, hi Sibonello, I loved this lesson. So you enjoyed it, as it were. Very good, thank you. Sheed, quite often in democracies, the opposite party to the government is a dissenter. Almost always. Indeed, members of the opposition rarely agree to new measures, and it is frequent to see some argy-bargy inside the parliament. You see, this is one of the things I hate about democratic parliaments. The two sides are always fighting. And they shouldn't be fighting, they should be working together. They should be working together for the best interests of the people in their country, not fighting over I'm right and you're wrong. It's like two kids squabbling. Very good, Sheed. And P, fashion is a meme subject to cultural shifts and practicality. Good English, P, I love it. I've traversed through the entire railway station to find my lost belongings. Unwanted contriver. Well, I hope you find your lost stuff unwanted. Good use of traverse. UCAP Department of Logistics. Okay, thank you for sharing this valuable explanation. You've explained to us every word deeply, and again, thank you for your sacrifice. I recommend you to make 3 words or 4 per day video. Thank you for the third time. These videos will be the historic items you will leave on this planet. I think so as well. Thank you, UCAP. Yeah, I think this is part of my legacy. So I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very nice of you. And Patricia, hi. She was already grappling with the intense emotional issues, and we hoped that financial problems would not further exacerbate her worries. Great English. Grapple, to grapple with, to fight with. Navid, hi Navid. This channel is sacrosanct to me. Also, I really enjoyed the pronunciation of sacrosanct. Sacrosanct. It's a really good word. The one that mannequin used, sacrosanctity. Sacrosanctity. I loved it. And Sean, very good with Cavalier. And Apollo, ooh, King of the Gods, thanks a lot. So, no worries. It's wonderful to have the King of the Gods watching. And Sibonello, lovely stream. So thank you for coming. Great to have you in the stream. And Montespan, let me though express my dissent towards the dictator's unbelievably cruel political bearing. Yeah, though, it's definitely though. Let me though express my dissent towards the dictator's unbelievably cruel political bearing. His attitude, the way he looks at it, his demeanour towards it. Okay, yes, well, this guy was king, but probably a dictator as well. And Manji's got Cavalier, brilliant. And VG says thanks. And you saw this word last week. That's good. That means the words I'm giving are real good words. Our dissent is due to the fact that we have different views of the issue. Different views of the issue. Different views on the issue. Yeah, I think both of them work. Both of and on. During the military dictatorship, anyone who dissented or was communist would be punished, persecuted, or even killed. I still believe, VG, there are Latin American countries that still execute people for being homosexuals. So I'm not sure if that's true, but they certainly used to. And Sonia, well done, Sonia. Cavalier, exactly. And VG, our opinions dissent from their opinions, but we must come to an agreement anyway. Deep Tea, great to see you, Deep Tea. Dissent in the, I would say dissent in opinion, no the. Dissent in opinion in any field is the cause of entropy. As people are self-reliant, they dissent and are not ready to compromise, and they are and are not ready to compromise. Thank you, Deep Tea, that was great. And Montespan, oh, how I love the Clouet spirit in all things Renaissance. I had a fleeting glimpse of this amazing portrait. May I devour his oscillating zeitgeist later. I love this word, zeitgeist. Spirit of the age, spirit of the age. So, I bet nobody's going to get who that song's by. And Nitu. Great to see you, Nitu. The downward trajectory of the business sales in the project report clearly showed our competitors' undertakings to decimate our sales. Yeah. But when I presented shreds of evidence in the meeting, only the chairman assented to me, and everybody else assented. Everyone else dissented. I think lose the to me. Yeah, only the chairman assented. He agreed. Everyone else dissented. Yeah, assented. I wouldn't. To assent. I wouldn't like. I don't really like a direct object with it. So good work, Nitu. Thank you. Sibonello. I'm such an accomplished car driver. I can do it with one hand. Okay, but be careful. You might have a blowout in a tyre or something. And Rabah Aldin, great to see you. And Akram, hi Akram. Great video as usual, very clarifying examples, thank you, my pleasure. Sibonello, hi sir, could you please correct me? Could the sentence upside down and downside up mean the same thing? Would it be okay to substitute one for the other in a sentence? Upside down, downside up. Yes. Okay, you've got things upside down. You've got things downside up. I think downside up is much less common and a bit jokey, whereas upside down is far more standard. Yeah, you could say downside up, particularly if you're joking. Hey mate, you've just got things downside up. Yeah, you're being amusing about it. You're making light of it. Where upside down, it just says you got it wrong. Thank you, Sibonello. And Vibes. His cavalier and offhand attitude towards safety shows how unimportant he thinks it is. Very good. And Dommy, number 1, cavalier. And Engine. Every living thing, singular. Every living thing is bound to be atrophied in time and withered away, so that it will give away for the next generations living. The societies that we have established will atrophy, and the societies we have established will atrophy, and to renew it, the establishment will create, no less, conditions for wars to destroy the atrophied, not working parts. For example, to open up the block trade routes, so that things are functioning again, things function again, and the opposing forces try to force try to push uh, or to convert international wars into civil wars, to have change, and to create a new form of society. Thank you, Engine. So, Engine, you need to concentrate more on getting your verb tenses right. It's the first thing you need to do. You need to get the form right when you use them, and you need to think about what tenses you're using. That's the first thing you need to do, Engine. Yeah, I can understand it, but it's a little difficult, and getting the right tenses is going to help you a lot. And P, life's events are playing merry hell with her. I love that. And she will not be able to hold on much longer. To play merry hell with, to cause problems for. And in Jujuan, no voices of dissent ever heard. No voices of dissent are ever heard in our parliament, because it's just a chorus of useful puppets. Okay, so it sounds like it's just somebody to agree with the regime. Thank you, Injujuan. So while this is refreshing, if you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and there can't be no more. Let me refresh this, because that's 46 minutes and no comments at all. Well, it could be, because it's this after lunch moment, but if not, well, it's going to be time for me to stop. No, they're not. So take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye for now.